I thought I'd come on today and talk you through a technique that you can use at home that can be really beneficial and helpful in processing and working through some really big emotions that you might be feeling right now. Challenging times for us all. There are lots of feelings going around, ranging from anxiety, fears, grief. Obviously, there's limited access to therapy. I thought if I come on, I can teach you this very quickly and you can practice it yourself at home. So emotional freedom technique is exactly what it says. It helps you free yourself from the attachment you have towards emotions that have been created through trauma, through anxiety, through difficulty. You can use it on a physical, emotional, kind of psychological things. Even if you've got pain, you can use it for pain, any kind of feelings really. So basically it's often called psychological acupuncture. So if any of you have had acupuncture out there, that's based on Eastern philosophy of meridians. So we're all made of energy. We've got energy flowing around of our body. Whenever that energy is out of balance or blocked, the thought is that that then manifests into illness, physical illness, emotional illness. And so this technique has been proven to be particularly helpful in releasing yourself from that. And it can be really quick and really effective. It's bringing together energy medicine and psychology. The energy part of things, we're tapping on the various acupressure points. And these points are particularly found to have a higher quantity of nerve endings. And it's in tapping those areas that we help to release the blockages, the difficulties. And so in addition to that, we're incorporating the psychological element, really delving into whatever it is that we have this emotional response to. So whether that's anger, whether that's frustration, pain, grief, we really go into, so if there's been something that's actually happened to you, it would be really looking at all the elements of that. And I know that it can be really difficult to face whatever it is that's upsetting you. And often we are trying to use coping strategies to avoid that. And now we're all stuck at home on lockdown, and some of those strategies we're unable to use. So this could be a positive tool that you can incorporate into your life to replace maybe some of those maladaptive strategies. So if they are, I don't know, maybe you resort to comfort eating, or maybe you drink a little bit too much, or maybe you over-exercise, maybe you self-harm, whatever those strategies may be that you're using to regulate your emotion, try to incorporate this and see how you go with it. So I will talk you through the elements. So first of all, you need to be thinking about whatever it is that's upsetting you, and just take a moment to close your eyes, becoming aware of your body, and then bringing that thought to mind. So for many of you right now, it will obviously be related to the virus that's going around. Maybe you've got some health anxiety, some OCD, some fear around that. So really thinking about what that means to you, really absorb it into your awareness, thinking about all the elements of that, and just sit with it for a moment and just notice what you're feeling in your body, what sensations come up. And then just rate that on a scale of 0 to 10. 0 being neutral, no discomfort whatsoever, up to 10. So 10 being obviously the most discomfort, the most distress that you're feeling in relation to that. And that can be really useful because you can use that as a measure afterwards. So once you've done a round of tapping, you can just take a moment to connect in with your body again and just really see what comes up for you, see where you are on that scale. And obviously, ideally, we want to be getting that scale down to around about 2 or 3. Ideally, it would be great if it goes. We just keep doing the tapping, we keep going around until those levels have reduced significantly. Sometimes the feelings can actually go up, which is fine as well. You just need to continue doing it really. It's just showing that something is starting to release. So go with the flow, use your intuition. We start off with what's called the setup. So we've got this area here. This is called the karate chop point that we use, and we tap in this area whilst stating some psychology. Some people will use a statement that I completely love and accept myself. I don't think that necessarily always works for most people because most people can't fully love and accept themselves. So I basically get people to think about something they know to be true about themselves, something that they value, and incorporate that. So it might be, I know that I'm a resilient person, or I'm a determined person, or I'm a great friend, whatever that might be. So we start the setup, we state something 3 times out loud in relation to what it is that we're fearful of. So even though I'm fearful of catching this virus, and then you counterbalance it with a positive statement you know to be true about yourself. So even though I'm fearful of this virus, I am a resilient person. You could even just choose I'm okay anyway if you struggle to find something that you truly believe to be valuable and positive about yourself. So we set that up 3 times. Even though I'm fearful of catching this virus and dying, I'm okay anyway. Even though I'm fearful of catching this virus, being isolated alone, struggling in hospital, I'm okay anyway. So we're really going in there for the worst case scenario, whatever it is that's worrying you. Even though I'm fearful of catching this virus and leaving my children behind, I'm okay anyway. Okay, so we've set that up. And then the next point is we're using the pads of our fingers and we're just tapping here at the beginning of the eyebrow and we're accessing the limbic system. So we're just literally that's the emotional part of the brain. We don't need to be speaking in sentences, just one or two words that really get your mind, your awareness focusing in on the worst part of the scenario. So it could be my fear of death. It could be losing control. This is the next point. So this is just at the side of the eye here, always on the bone. You might feel a little bit tender in some of the spots. That's perfectly normal. Pains in my chest. And you can do it on both sides if you want to. You can do it either side, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about that too much. It's both just as effective. I just choose to do it on this side. Okay? Leaving my family. Struggling to breathe. So you're just copying what I'm doing. So that was beneath the nose and now beneath the lips. And then we've got a point here just underneath the collarbone. So if you notice, you've got these indentations here. So these are little soft spots. And so we're just tapping there. I often just go to the other side for some reason. It just feels more comfortable for me. And we're just tapping here. And you can hear that it's making my voice vibrate a little bit. So that's kind of how hard I tap. Just don't tap too hard, but just enough to feel like you're getting some of that energy moving. And you can probably hear the vibration in my chest as I'm speaking. So another element of that could be a ventilator in my throat. So this person that maybe has this is obviously fearful of the experience of what would happen if they had it. So the next point is about 10 centimeters down from the armpit, and we're going to just use the whole of the side of the hand here. And we're just tapping through there. And again, another element of the worst case scenario, the one thing that you're really frightened of. The next point is just at on the nail bed here, just where the nail begins. So we're tapping on here. And again, another element of what it is that you're fearful of. Panic. Losing control. Again, just where the nail starts. Losing my business. Uncertainty. This one on the ring finger is the only one that's got the acupressure point on the other side. So all of these were at the top, this one is underneath. And then we have the little finger again, you would use a focused word. And then back to the karate chop point, where again, you're just focusing on something else. So, my fear of death. And then again, you have the pads of your fingers all over your head. There's so many nerve endings in your head. Just do it there. And then just take in a moment just to breathe in. Gently breathing out. Taking a moment to become aware of the body and rating that between 0 to 10 again. Obviously, hopefully that will come down a bit. I feel a lot calmer now. That's quite normal. I feel a bit tingly. It releases endorphins in the body. So at the very least, even just doing the tapping without the psychological element releases endorphins and enables you to feel more relaxed. It reduces the stress response and can be really beneficial. So you would just rate that and then do the whole thing all over again. It's a bit like peeling an onion. So once you've gone through that round, it might bring up something else for you, which could even just be a physical symptom. So maybe you notice a pain in your chest. So even though I've got a pain in my chest, I'm okay anyway. And then you might say the stabbing pain or whatever it might be. It kind of connects into other layers, and your job is to clear those layers and release yourself from the attachment to that memory, to that feeling, or to that thought. Happy tapping!